There is a sense, I think, of defying the United States here and defying Israel, saying, well, if you kill the father, you'll just get the son. President Trump had himself said, Mojtaba Khamanei will not be an acceptable successor to me. So, if you're resisting America, then what better way of showing your resistance is strong than doing exactly what Trump said you shouldn't do?
Now, before we hand you over to Hugo Rifkind, Iran has a new supreme leader, but he sounds a lot like the old one. Mojtaba Khamanei is the new man in charge. He's the son of the previous leader, Ali Khamenei, who was killed in an Israeli strike. The Times' Richard Spencer writes this morning that the choice throws down the gauntlet to President Trump, and he can join us to talk from Abell in the Kurdish region of Iraq right now. Good morning.
Morning.
So what do we know about him? He's the second eldest son, I believe, and he is said to be a little bit more of a hardliner. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean he's the chosen gatekeeper of all his sons to Khamenei. I mean it's not an unusual situation in the Middle East to have your son as kind of your gatekeeper, your secretary, your advisor, your sort of factotum, and you've seen successions of the son even in dictatorships and supposedly socialist dictatorships like Assad's Syria, and of course Gaddafi in Libya was also sort of training up a couple of his sons as possible successors to him when he was killed. Same with Khamenei. No one really well, that's not true. He was certainly one of the names in the frame for several years now as a potential successor to Khamenei. On the other hand, there was this strong presumption that the Islamic Republic was somewhat different from all those other dictatorships, that it was a theocracy, that it was different from the Shah's Iran. It wasn't a hereditary institution. But nevertheless, he has been chosen when it came to it. I mean, there is a sense, I think, of defying the United States here and defying Israel, saying, well, if you kill the father, you'll just get the son. President Trump had himself said, Mojtaba Khamanei will not be an acceptable successor to me. So, if you're resisting America, then what better way of showing your resistance is strong than doing exactly what Trump said you shouldn't do? He is his father's son, so he's followed his father's ideology. He's very closely over the years and has helped put them into place. He's particularly known in Iran for his close ties with the Revolutionary Guard, which is the vanguard of the whole republic. So the less religious side of the regime, if you like, the pragmatic, we would say repressive side of the regime, but it's also a side with a lot of business interests. So he's become a figurehead for the sort of business interests of the Revolutionary Guard, and he's featured. You'll have seen in quite a lot of newspaper coverage of the business and investment sort of portfolio he manages, either for himself or the family or for the regime as a whole across the world.
And there are reports this morning that he actually may already be injured. That may have been behind the delay in announcing his appointment, if we can call it that. And there are some questions about, he's obviously got a huge target on his back now, and Israel have said so much publicly. Can I ask you, Richard, before we let you go, you are in Abell. What is it like there at the moment?
It's extremely quiet. I mean, it is Ramadan at the moment across the Middle East, which we haven't sort of focused very much on. So so there's not a lot of activity in the daytime because you won't see people in the cafes and restaurants in the daytime anywhere in the Muslim world, or not very much. But what's interesting is in the evening when you'll see lots of people out and about normally and having iftar meals and getting together with family, it's also very quiet here. And I suspect that's true again across the region. People are very uncertain what's going to happen. There are, of course, these drone attacks all across the region. We've had a few near here. I mean, I get woken up in the night by the occasional interceptor sound as an American interceptor missile goes off and takes out an Iranian missile. There was a guy at the airport here, just down the road from where I am now, was killed on Saturday night when a missile got through and hit the airport. So there's a lot of nervousness, and of course we're very close to Iran, and we've had these reports that Iranian Kurdish groups that are in exile here, including sort of fighting groups, have been geared up by the Americans to perhaps be the spearhead of some sort of ground invasion or ground war or guerrilla war inside Iran. They're rather nervous about that. I mean, on the surface, they're very gung-ho about it. I mean, this is their big opportunity. If you're an exiled Kurdish Iranian opposition guy, this is the biggest opportunity you've had for decades. On the other hand, they are small in number, these guys, and without close coordination with an American offensive, their leaders at least realise it would be a bit of a suicide mission.
And Richard, people can read your reporting in The Times today and on thetimes.com. It really is brilliant, and we'll continue to read you over the next couple of days. Thanks very much for giving us your time this morning.
That's a pleasure.
That is Richard Spencer there, live from Abell in the Kurdish region of Iraq.